Hey guys, I want to talk about moving through the holidays when you're experiencing grief. And I just want to give you guys a couple tools that you can use in the midst of this season. I know that when we do go through the holiday season and we have walk through grief or we're walking through grief, it can be a much more vulnerable and sensitive time for people because the holidays, times of gathering, times of being with family, those who are near and dear to our hearts, when we've lost those people, it can be very triggering for us to experience the holidays. So I just want to share with you 3 things that you can do to help you while working through this season and processing the pain. First of all, if you get triggered when you are on your way to, Thanksgiving with the family, say you've lost your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your father, your grandma, anyone in the family that was close and near to your heart, maybe a family friend, and you guys always get together on the holiday season, but this is a season that they're not going to be there. When you get triggered and the memory, the reality of them being absent happens and your nervous system responds of feeling the loss of sadness, allow yourself to release that emotion. Allow the tears to flow because your pain is so valid. It makes so much sense that you would feel the sadness, the weight of grief. It's okay that you feel that way. And it's healthy to allow the emotion to flow. That's the first thing I want to say, because there have been seasons in my life in the past when I've walked through grief and I did not allow myself to feel in the moment. And that actually created unhealed trauma wounds of suppressed grief, repressed grief that later, many years down the road, would show up in different ways when I get triggered, and it created unhealed trauma wounds that I had to work with the Lord years later to address. So it's very important when you get triggered and have those emotions, let them flow from you. And if you're feel vulnerable or uncomfortable to cry in front of people, that's okay. Tend to your heart, step away in the bathroom, maybe allow yourself to have a good cry before you go into your family space if you don't feel comfortable releasing emotion in front of people. I want you to know that Jesus is our perfect model of how to live this life well. And Jesus, on the way to raise Lazarus from the grave, the shortest verse in the Bible, Jesus wept. While he knew he was going to raise Lazarus, he still wept, and he wept in public. So it is okay from our own creator, from our own model of perfection, Jesus. It is okay that you cry, and it's healthy to release that emotion because loss is hard. It is hard to lose people that were so close to us. So I just want to validate your pain and say, give yourself permission to feel and release. The second thing I want to just share with you guys and encourage you with is, if you've lost someone in this season, but there was a tradition that you used to do with them that you're now doing by yourself, or you don't want to do because they're no longer there, I just want to put this on the table to consider. Consider doing something that would celebrate the remembrance of their life. Maybe you guys, cooked a special meal together and they're not there in the person to do that with you anymore, but it's a beautiful way to honor their life to still cook that meal and know that they may not be here in the physical, but they're here in spirit. And that might be hard for some of you, so just do what you have capacity for, but it may actually be healing for some of you as well. So just something to consider. Maybe if you guys didn't have a tradition where you cooked a meal together, maybe taking time to, when you do go to pray over the meal, saying a little prayer up to heaven for them and just acknowledging their life and memory. And if you're with your family, sometimes it can be really hard to kind of like address the elephant in the room of like, we all lost this person that was near and dear to our heart. But bonding in that place of pain with one another can be an invitation for healing and love to enter, connection to enter. So sharing with someone else in your family how you're feeling, making that connection, it can actually help to get comfort into your heart. When we have sadness needs to feel comforted. When we feel alone in our grief, when we're lonely, we need connection. So moving in a spirit of wellness towards your heart, your mind, your body, your soul in this time. If you need connection because you feel lonely, opening up and sharing your heart. I feel so sad right now because this person isn't there. Can I just, talk to you briefly about what I'm feeling? Or maybe tell someone, hey, can we just share some memories of this person who's no longer here, and I just want to remember their life. But being able to have that connection that's going to help to validate your pain and address it and get some love and healing into that space. And I also want to say that another thing that you can do to just kind of celebrate their life and remembrance of them is maybe you guys go around the room and you all say a happy memory of that person. Maybe you get some balloons and write a message on the balloon to that person and go outside and make it like a little a special moment together with you and your family where you release the balloon as a symbol up to heaven for that message. Get those, pain that we have in our heart. Pain speaks, and pain needs to be acknowledged in order for love to come and heal that pain. So being able to write out a message on the balloon and having a hope that that message will be received in heaven, that is gonna help to heal and mend the wound of grief in the heart. And the third thing I want to just put on the table as something you can consider when working through this holiday season is being in a community of other people who've also lost people. Because when we go through grief or seasons where we're going through a lot of triggers, the memories flood in, it feels like waves. You don't know what's going to trigger you. It could be a song. It could be a scent of something. This is a little bit more somatic, like because trauma gets held in the body. So losing someone is traumatic. Your body can react and feel a certain way. But when you're experiencing all these triggers, when you have a community where you know that there's other people like-minded who've also lost someone, that is going to break any partnership of shame, like you shouldn't feel this way, or you should be better by now, or you shouldn't be so emotional about it. When you have a community, grief support groups, there are a number of them you can find online. It'd be a good thing to do to tend to the soil of your heart in this season, get involved with that group. See if you can join a couple groups, even if there's online groups that you can attend in the middle of this holiday season, so that you have a place of community where you can share your pain and you can be able to connect with other people who understand that pain, who can validate that pain and hold space for you to receive love and comfort into your heart. That can be very healing for you. So I just want to put that out there, as something to consider as an option that you can do to help you work through this season. And if you guys need support and you can't find a group, I do offer Christian life coaching and grief coaching specifically. So know that I'm here for you. You're not alone, and I understand the depth of pain when it comes to grief, because I've walked through it myself. And that is why I became a Christian life coach, one of the many reasons, because I know what that pain feels like and how intense and complex grief is. And I know how hard it can be to walk through it by yourself. Sometimes you don't need people to tell you what to do when you're walking through the grief. Sometimes you just need someone to hold space and to just be present with you, and to just sit in that space with you and let you know it's okay to be here. It's okay to be here as long as you need, and your pain makes sense. So I love you guys, and I hope and pray that you'll be encouraged from this message, and that you'll receive a little bit of hope in your heart at this time. Grief and difficult seasons, triggers through the holiday season, we need faith, hope, and love to carry us through. And the greatest of these is love. I love you guys.